Hi learners, welcome to MwalimuPLUS live classes where we learn more about life. So today I am Teacher Meshak taking you through grade 4 maths. I know you are well prepared learners and you are ready to take off. Remember, maths, I told you, it is a subject that requires a lot of practice. And when we do maths, you find that we encounter maths in various activities. When you are walking, you are doing maths. When you are sitting, you are doing maths. When you are cooking, you are doing maths. So maths is everywhere. So we need to enjoy maths the way we enjoy eating food. So learners, in our previous lesson, we were talking about geometry. And in geometry, we are learning about comparing angles practically. Learners, can you tell me some of the angles that you know? Well, I see you can still remember them. Now we talked about reflex angle. Can you remember that one? Where you have said? Good. Again, we talk about acute angle. Then we had also obtuse, and also we had right angle. Well done. So we say that when we are comparing angles, we use what is on the ground. We can compare angles within our environment by looking how big they are, by talking about their size in terms of bigness, how big an angle is, how small it is, or how equal it is. So we use three major terms: bigger than, equal to, or smaller than. So learners, after seeing this one, I gave you an assignment. I want us to go through it and see how you did it. I know you did it well. Let us have a look at it. So our question number 1 was as follows. The question was asking us to compare the following angles shown. Compare the following angles shown. So we had angle S and angle T. And the question was, angle S is dash to angle T. So learners, A was telling us it's more, B was telling us that it's equal, C less, and D greater. So before you give me your answer, learners, you have to know that when we are comparing angles, it is good to know that angles can be bigger than, smaller than, or equal to, depending how it looks like or how it is drawn. So learners, when you compare S and T, what can you give as your answer, or what did you give as your answer? Nice. I was simply saying that they are equal. If you look at them, by the way, they are equal. They are of the same size. So we say that angle S is equal to angle T. So our answer is B. So learners, if you gave B as answer the way you have said, you are totally right. So give yourself a nice tick and bravo for a well done job. So I'm seeing everyone is happy. I know all of you got it right. That's very, very important and very good for working hard. Now, after seeing that one, let us go to question number 2. Our work to do number 2 was as follows. Compare again the size of the following angles shown. Compare the size of the following angles shown. So, first one we have angle G, the other one is angle H. So you are to compare. Then the question was, angle G is dash to angle H. So learners, you have to compare them. Look at G and look at H. So before you give your answer, you have to compare those two angles and say something. So A was telling us that it's less, B it is more, C is greater, and D is equal. So what can you say about this one? Good. The way you have said that, first of all, you need to say to identify the angles by saying that angle G is an obtuse angle. The way you can see it, it's an obtuse angle. Again, after seeing that one, you can also say that it is greater than a right angle. That's why we call it an obtuse angle, but less than the two right angles. So an obtuse angle is greater than a right angle, but less than two right angles put together. What about G? What about H? Learners, it is good. We said that when I see an angle sharp at the end, looking at maybe the shape of an arrow or a spear, that is an acute angle. So G is obtuse and H is an acute angle. So what's the answer, learners? Well done. It is good. So we say that angle G is greater than angle H. So angle G is greater than angle H. So that's how we compare these angles when we are looking at them, because we say that an angle can be either bigger than, lesser than, or smaller than, or equal to. So after seeing this one, learners, I want us now to go to our today's lesson. In our today's lesson, learners, we are going to learn about geometry, where we are going to deal with 2D shapes. Shapes with 2 dimensions or 2 sides. So when we are dealing with this one, we're going to find out, or we are going to look more or deeply about identifying different shapes in the environment. And learners, I know you know what the word environment means. Can you remind me about environment once more? Good, you have applied the social studies language or knowledge. So when we learn about social studies, you are also talking about environment. And you are told that environment is our surrounding. So environment is our surrounding. In our surrounding, we have so many things. We can have forests in the surrounding, we have rivers in our surrounding, we have animals, we have mountains, so many things that are found within our environment. Even we have man-made features. We have the buildings, we have the roads, so there are so many things that are found within our environment. So environment, they have said that is our surrounding, and we have shapes found within our environment or within our surrounding. Learners, for example, we are going to talk about our surrounding, like maybe at home. When we are at home, what can we find at home? When we are in school, what can we find at school? And when we go to churches and mosques, can we get some shapes there? Good. So you can see that when we visit a mosque, there you can see on the screen there, we can get shapes in that particular environment. When we go to church, those who are Christians, also we can get shapes in that environment. Even the building, how it is shaped, you can see it forms a shape that we're going to look at. Again, when we go to maybe a school, or maybe we talk about a school, maybe like a building, like us, or our home, we find that also we have shapes that can be found there. So learners, can you name for me some of the shapes that you can imagine of, maybe you learned about maybe in grade 3? Good. So some of you learn about what's known as a rectangle shape, okay? So we have so many examples of the shapes. We're going to mention just a few of them. For instance, here we have a rectangle shape. Learners, we have various things that resemble this shape here. Like talk about the doors. Our door, maybe the entrance to class, we're going to the mosque, we're going to church, we have a door or an entrance. If you look at that door properly, it has a shape of this kind. It is rectangular in shape. So a rectangle is a shape which has 2 equal sides. The opposite sides are equal. 2 are longer and the 2 are shorter. So that's a rectangle. Again, the way you have said also, we have an oval. It's also a shape. Learners, what things resembles this shape, or what can you identify having an oval shape? Where you come from, even in the classroom. Okay, good. You say chicken. Yes, chicken lays what? Eggs. And look at an egg and this particular shape, you find that they have the same shape. So the shape of an egg is an oval shape. So you find that an oval shape is of this kind. What is again? Good. Those who are playing rugby, okay? If you watched the rugby, you have seen that that ball is of this kind, or is of this shape. So the rugby ball is an oval shape. It's that kind of an oval shape. So that is how we can at least magnify our shapes with what we have in our real life. Again, number 3, also we have what's called a square. Have you ever seen a square somewhere, learners? Good. Even the windows, good. They have a square shape. The windows maybe we have in our homes, in the school, in the church, in the hospitals, they have this particular shape, a square. A square is a shape which has 4 sides and all the sides are equal. The upper side and the lower side are equal. The opposite side and the opposite side are also equal. So all the 4 sides are equal. That is a square. Lastly, also we have another one known as the triangle shape. This one we learned about it in grade 3. So this is also a shape which has 3 sides, and find that it looks like a packet of milk. If you have a packet of milk of this kind, if you have a different shape, but if you have one which resembles this type of a shape. So triangle shape is also one of the shapes that we found within our environment. So learners, you can see we have so many shapes that are found within our environment, and we need to make sure that we identify them properly, and some of them are very, very important. For instance, if you look at the table you are sitting on, the tables, most of them are rectangular shape. Some are circular shape or an oval shape. They take that kind of a shape. So we have so many things of that nature. So learners, I want us to go through some of the questions that we might miss, some questions that we can have that are dealing with shapes. For instance, here I have a question for you. The question is asking us to name the shape marked Z. You have a shape there, maybe it looks like a traditional house. You can look at it, you have the upper part and the lower part. So the part marked Z is known as A, is it a square? B, is it an oval? C, is it a triangle? And D, is it a rectangle? So learners, when you apply the knowledge you have learned just a few minutes ago, what can you say about the shape marked Z? Okay, I can hear that. That's very nice. So the way we have mentioned these are a triangle shape. So the upper part is a triangle shape. It look like a packet of milk, the way I've said. So what can you say? We can say the shapes can be either be square, they can be either square in nature, they can be either rectangular in nature, triangular, or among many other shapes that you can find. So a shape can be either square when the sides are all equal, can be a rectangle when its two sides, opposites are equal, or can be a triangle, depending how it is drawn. So it's very, very important to know the shapes, how they are drawn, and their names well. So that's one thing you have noticed. Let us go to another question. Question number 2. The question is also asking us to name the given shape. Name the given shape. Look at that particular shape. When you see two mark put on one side of a given shape, it means that the upper part and the lower part are of the same length, so that they have the same length. If you measure from one corner to the other corner, you find maybe they are 6 centimeters, as also the other side is also 6 centimeters, other side also the same, and also the other side the same. So they are all having the same units. So learners, what can you talk or tell us about this particular shape? A, is it an oval shape? B, is it a rectangle shape? Or C, a triangle shape? Or D, a square shape? Look at it properly. Okay. I have heard people mentioning square. Yes, it's because we have said that a square is a shape which has all both sides equal. So again, what you need to put in mind is that shapes are either, they can be either square shapes, they can be either rectangular shapes, or can be either triangular or maybe oval, among other many shapes. Because we also have circular shapes, which I have not mentioned, but they are there. We are going to mention them as we proceed on. So learners, let us have the last part of it. Question number 3. I know you have seen various objects in our homes, gadgets we have used at home. So the question is, what shape is the mobile phone drawn? What is the shape of the mobile phone shown or drawn? So A is rectangular or rectangle, B is triangle, C is square, and D is oval. When you look at that particular shape of that particular phone, learners, what can you say? I know you have phones at home, you have seen them, they look at, some are big, some are small, but they have a particular shape. So the one that you can see on your screens this particular moment, learners, what shape can you give it? Okay, so it's well, you will say that we can call it a rectangle, because we say that two opposite sides are equal. We have two longer sides and two shorter sides. So that is a rectangle shape. Two sides are of the same length, the opposite sides are of the same length. Again, what you need to put in mind, again, learners, you have to know that shapes are named according how they look like. They can be either the opposite sides, or they can be either square, rectangles, or triangles, depending how they are. And they have said that when you look at a rectangle, you find that the opposite sides of a rectangle are equal. The longer sides are of the same length, and the shorter sides are of the same length. If the longer side is maybe 10 centimeters, the other one is also 10 centimeters. When the lower side and upper side are maybe 5, you find they'll be of the same length. Again, you can say that it has 4 right angles. If you look at those corners, measure them properly, you have the first, the second, third, and the fourth corners. They are of the same angle. So they form what's known as a right angle. Again, you can also say that all the 4 angles are equal. That's what we talk about what's known as a square and a rectangle. So learners, that is it for today. And before I leave you, I want to leave you with a little assignment to keep you a bit busy. Remember, we're talking about shapes. We have so many shapes. We have talked about the shape of a ball, which is good, circular, or talk about circular shape or a circle. We have talked about the shape of an egg, or this ball known as rugby ball, which is an oval shape. We have talked about the doors, that most of them are which shape? They are of rectangular shape. Good. Again, we talk about most of the windows that we have in various buildings. Which shape do they have? They have square shapes, and many other things that we encounter in our environment. So learners, I have this for you today. Identify the shapes marked with the letters. This is a building. It has been marked with letters A, B, and C. So you are working just to write for me those particular areas that are marked. For example, one is A is dash. A is a dash. Is it an oval? Is it a triangle? Is it a square? Or is it D, rectangle? Number 2 is B. B is a dash. Is it a square? Is it an oval? Is it a rectangle? Or D, is it a triangle? Then we have the last part, number 3, which is C. C is a dash. A, rectangle. B, triangle. C, oval. And D, square. So learners, that's what I had for you. Go and do it so that when we come again in our coming lesson, you will give me what you have written down. So don't want to take you much of your time. Till we meet again, I'm Meshak. I wish you all the best. Bye-bye.